What is going on? It has been a long time since I've posted something on this channel, but for very good reasons. I am happy. I've had this boat for almost a year. It's been almost a year since I posted anything on my YouTube channel. I finally have a boat that I've got about 70 hours on already. It'll be a year actually next month in August. I love it. Full review. I'm very, very happy. We're gonna do a full walkthrough. If you are considering a Vexus boat and you're considering getting into specifically a Vexus AVX 2080, then this video is for you. Please subscribe if you haven't already. Follow me on my TikTok at KJ Farwell on TikTok, and we're gonna be doing a lot more of these reviews and more videos to come. The last TikTok that I went on, TikTok Live, we caught 115 crappie in 4 hours. So this thing is putting fish in the boat. My biggest bag ever so far has come out of this boat at 28.83, and then with my buddy on that same day, including the fish that he had, we had almost 31 pounds. This boat is fishy, so let's get into it. All right, a lot of you want to see the boat. You want to see how it's set up. You want to see how I have it rigged. We're gonna get into it, but let me tell you why I decided to go with this specific boat. I wanted to get a 200. That Merc 200 ProXS that's on the back of that boat is badass. It is worth every single penny. I absolutely love that motor. I've had really, really good luck with Mercury. Go with the Mercury. That thing is sick. So I decided to go with this specific boat. This boat, construction-wise, rides like a fiberglass boat. So why? The top cap of this boat and the bottom cap is aluminum. But when I show you, the inside structure of the boat is fiberglass. So it's a little bit heavier. It's definitely heavier than your traditional aluminum boat because it's not fully aluminum. It's a hybrid style boat. This thing rides awesome. The fastest I've gotten this boat up to, you're probably wondering, is 67.5. That was at the earlier end of the break-in, or earlier end of the hours that I had on the motor. I average probably about 62 to 64.5. Depending on how I have my boat rigged. We'll go through how I have it rigged. You're probably wondering if I have a manual or a hydraulic jack plate, etc. We'll get there. Let's start at the front of the boat. Let's see if we can do this in one take. We probably won't. All right, starting at the, I guess we'll start with the trailer. So I went with a come stock tandem axle trailer. It's the first, actually it's the second boat that I've had that is a tandem axle. Pulled that thing all the way from Berryville, Arkansas to pretty much Raleigh, North Carolina. About 16 hours. Phenomenal. You don't get that sway with that single axle in other boats that I've had. That thing stayed true the whole entire way. It tows really, really great. No issues. I did have one issue as I was pulling it off the lot that I worked with Vexus. And by the way, my tips to you all with my experiences, when you're looking to buy a boat, buy from a dealer and buy from a company that you know you're going to get support when you need it. So in past companies, you know, that's something that I've always looked into. Vexus has been phenomenal. On the way home, I just pulled it off the lot. I noticed every single time that I was making a right-hand turn, my trailer was making a really weird noise. So after trial and error, eventually Vexus helped me figure it out, made it right. We got the thing all sorted out. You know, it turns out it was something within the caliper itself. But long story short, trailer's been awesome since then. So let's start at the front of the boat, and then we'll work our way back. All right, coming up the front of the boat, I've got an 80-pound Ultrex on this. You can't go wrong with the Ultrex. They just actually came out with the new Minn Kota Ultrex Quest model, which or when I decide to upgrade into my next boat, I'll probably get. But you can't go wrong with the Ultrex. I have my LiveScope, Garmin LiveScope LVS 34 transducer. If you want to know my opinion on the 34 LiveScope, please let me know. I'll do a separate video on that. That thing is freaking incredible. We obviously, as you can see here on the side of the boat, have my Humminbird 360. I'll show you the graph that I have that mounted to, actually right up here on the front of the boat. And let's see, let's actually get in the boat and I'll show you how we have this thing rigged. All right, coming to the front of the boat, Garmin 126 SV Ultra. That's for my LiveScope, and I have that paired with the graph at my console. And then we have my Humminbird Helix 10. That's specifically only for LiveScope. I only have that for LiveScope. So that's how that's currently run. Dual bracket mount. I have my power pole switches up here, obviously my foot tray. The one thing that I will say on these decks, on the Vexus, is they're pretty narrow up here. They're pretty narrow. I kind of wish, to make this feel a little bit bigger, that they brought these rod straps up a little bit more, because you have space to be able to run your rods. And then that way it won't feel as crowded. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 rods there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, yeah, 6 rods there. And it feels kind of crowded. You know, you get up here, depending on how many rods you have on either side, the beam is a little bit narrow. It's not bad though. There's just something that I wish it was a little bit wider beam up here on the very front of the boat. We back up here. Honestly, the deck space itself is freaking huge. It's big. Easily and comfortably fit 2 people up here, no problem at all. Boat buckle rod straps on both sides, come stock with it. Let's open up these rod lockers, and I'll show you what you got in here. All right, this big center rod locker. I have mine set where I have all my tackle, all my gear. It's a little bit messy up there. I put my Garmin LiveScope black box, ran it through those tubes, and that's been working phenomenal. You know, no issues, plenty of storage. As you can tell, I'm not even using the whole storage in the front of the boat. I'll close that. Let me just open these undo the rod straps. Cooler. This cooler is awesome when you want to use it as a cooler. I'm using it as storage. Pretty deep. I'm really happy. No complaints. Storage. Plenty of storage. And honestly, I've had really good luck with it being, you know, dry storage. I haven't had issues with a lot of moisture in my rod lockers. Open up this side. Here's where my main rod storage is. Again, plenty of storage. You can buy, and what I am going to do is I took this out. Let me get it in here. All right, I took this rod sleeve out, this tubing, and then I ended up putting it back in because it's just open aluminum in there and all the foam. So I'm going to try to figure out, there's a company out there, I think it's by MK Designs or MK2 Designs or something like that, that makes a boot here. So you don't need to worry about those sleeves. Honestly, I've probably fit about 32 rods in here with the rod sleeves. I'm gonna take this out, be able to fit more comfortably and not have to worry about it. And I'll lay like some carpet down there so it doesn't look as bad and it's not gonna be rubbing up in aluminum. Plenty of rod storage space. 2-tier system here. So your rods aren't piled on top of each other. Plenty of storage, no complaints there. All right, we come back to the middle of the boat. Step, again, plenty of storage. And oh, I was actually looking for that yesterday. Let's see. Tool holders, you got 6 tool holders. You got a handle here, an O handle for someone sitting in the middle. Plenty of space. I'm pretty happy with this. Plenty of space compared to my previous boat, where this felt a little bit more crammed. You have your passenger side rod holder. I mean, those just kind of standard in your aluminum boat. They're really nothing special. I bet in the years to come, you'll see that more integrated like you see it in the fiberglass boats, where that's a little bit more user-friendly. Boat buckle strap, which is pretty awesome. Pretty happy with that. No complaints. All right, we come over here to where a lot of the graphing is done. Garmin 126 SV Ultra at the console with a Lowrance TI-12 with CMAP, specifically using for this for mapping, using this for my down imaging, my side imaging. You come under here, we got a hot foot. The hot foot is huge. For those that are not familiar with a hot foot, the hot foot comes in handy because when you're running 65 miles an hour down the lake, you don't have to worry about having your hand on the throttle, you know, both hands on the steering wheel. I ended up adding that. Got the blinker trim as well. Installed. Super happy. You have all of your gauges. You got your trim, you got your fuel, your RPMs, and then your speed. This is a digital gauge. This is a digital gauge on this side over here that is upgraded with the boat, part of the Victor package. So I can see all my engine hours, I can see my my block temp, I can see my fuel, I can see everything on there. I also have Mercury vessel view in the motor as well. If something were to happen, then that's going to be logged there. We look over on the side here, and then this is where all of our switches are. Horn, bilge, our interior light, any accessory light, the Livewell main, my anchor light, and then my nav lights. And then you have these breakers down here with a 12 volt, and then you also have 2 USBs. Here's where we control our Livewell, recirc, empty, and our auto. Here is our throttle shifter. Also here, you'll see this little handle. I have an adjustable seat that fully slides, which is pretty nice. I currently have it all the way back. Pull that handle. It is part of a package that you can get with the boat. We have the locked center console, dual cup holders. I have that just packed full of stuff, scale, stuff like that. Obviously 2 seats, another O handle, and we move to the back of the boat. We have our dual live well. It is not completely separate though. It is one live well, just dual lid. So you have your divider, which honestly is something that I appreciate with Vexus. That is super easy to get in and out. In old boats, this thing has been such a pain. They wedge it in there. It is very, very hard to get in and out of there. So I do appreciate that. I did buy this on Amazon. This little rubber lip, or this rubber strip for the lips. And it's great because this is open fiberglass, and I've cut my hands and just like scraped up my arms. Again, I mentioned the structure of the boat. This is all fiberglass. So in other aluminum boats that you'll see, this is all aluminum. This is fiberglass boat, and the structure of it itself is completely fiberglass, and that's what helps it ride well. I really like it. I do wish the live wells were deeper though. You know, we had about, not that we're going out and catching 30 pounds every single time, but even get a couple 5-pounders in here. 5-pounders are longer than what this and this is here. So, you know, if they were deeper, that would be helpful. I do wish that it was a little bit deeper, or they widened it just a little bit. Otherwise, when we've had those big bags, just pull this divider out, no problem. I did get 2 seats. I don't have the other seat in the boat right now, but I got 1 butt seat, 1 fisherman seat. I keep this on the back of the boat, so when it is windy, then I'm able to throw that on the front of the boat, or this is how I take my pictures, put my phone up there when I'm fishing by myself. That's what you all see on Instagram, and so on and so forth. These back storage compartments are massive. Again, look, I'm not even using my full storage of the boat. They are huge on both sides. That one I do have pretty chock full. We come all the way back. This is where everything is powered. So I have a Group 31 AGM there. I have a 125 amp hour battery. This is solely just for my graphs. So this is powering my 360 and my live scope. And then I have 250 Ionics for my trolling motor battery. 1 power pole pump there, 1 power pole pump there. My main power switch, my switch for my console. And I have this battery for my graphs on a switch. 1 specifically for the power of my graphs, and then also the power for my live scope and 360. And then I have a switch for my batteries in the back. My onboard charger. I just use this for storage, my throw cushion, and that's what everything looks down there. We come all the way to the back of the boat, and as you can see, the beautiful Mercury ProXS 200 V8 4-stroke. Like I said, I absolutely love this motor. It thing is awesome. I will never get sick of listening to that motor fire up. And then 1 power pole there, and 1 power pole there. All right, my phone died. Or my GoPro that I'm using, the DJI camera, died. So I'm gonna film this on my phone. What I was saying, one of my biggest gripe about this boat is the way that they have these cables and everything routed and wired. Not routed where it goes along the side of the boat and then comes straight up. This boat, the way that it is currently rigged and the way that all the wires are running is it comes from the back of that compartment, and they run in between this compartment and this live well straight through all the way back to here. Now, there's a small corrugated tube that just comes right out here and it's cut straight off, and then there's a corrugated tube that comes around the back, and that's cut off. So there, you got about a 6-inch gap that's wide open of wires. It is impossible to snake it where it comes straight through, makes a 90-degree turn, and then makes another 90-degree turn this way to go to your console, and then eventually there's a tube that does run all the way up. The tube that runs all the way up isn't a problem, but I had to take this whole thing apart. I had to rip up the whole entire seats. This whole bench had to come out, re-screw it, and re-drill it in. Once I realized my finger was there, so sorry. Once I rigged my whole boat. I wired my whole graphs, ran all my wiring, did it all myself. It's not easy. I don't understand why boat companies and boat manufacturers make it so difficult to make it easy to access this wiring if you want to do it yourself. My only thought is that they want you to go in and pay them to do it, which I'm not going to do. I saved myself a lot of money by buying this boat in 2022 because if you go look now, the prices of these boats went way up. They're well over $60,000 now. I didn't pay nearly close to that. It's unfortunate because for someone that does it themselves and I don't have any help, it took me a lot of time. Did my power poles, I did everything on this boat that you see besides the trolling motor. That's pretty much it. So other than that, that's the biggest gripe that I have about this boat, is the way that the wiring goes. It doesn't run through the side of the boat or anything like that, straight up, just like I showed you. And I dread if I ever want to take it out. I've considered taking it out and putting Lowrances on the boat, but I got my Garmin's pretty dialed in, and I'm glad that I did not end up doing that because it would take me forever. It's a giant pain. All right. Before we close this video, of course, there's always going to be stuff that I realized I didn't show when I was showing the boat. A couple other things that I really like on the boat. It comes with integrated bow lights. To be honest, I'm kind of surprised that that is legal. They're really small and they're kind of hard to see, but it comes integrated with it. That is a nice feature. I really like that. I did also put on a keel guard. Comes with a spare tire as well. This isn't something that's like too crazy, but it kind of would be nice if they made the key right there, push to start, or put it a little bit lower, because with the graphs and whatnot, I'm debating of potentially moving this and putting a dual graph mount right up here. I just kind of like this because it's a little bit easier to see, and I can, when I'm sitting in the boat, I can see over a little bit better. I don't want it to restrict my field of view, but as of right now, that's currently how that's set up. Just something that I would appreciate. The other thing is too that's weird is I don't see anywhere that the water drains in this boat when it pools up in this area. You would think it's right here, but I don't think that leads to anywhere. So there you have it. There's my 2022 Vexus AVX 2080. Absolutely love the boat. If you have any questions, comment down below on my YouTube. If you haven't already, please consider subscribing. Head over to my TikTok. Follow me on TikTok. We're almost at 10,000 followers over on TikTok. Greatly appreciate it. We're going to start filming some stuff out of this boat. I got that 30-pound bag that I'm probably going to drop here shortly, so keep an eye out for that. We'll see you on the next one.